All right, guys, here we're going to talk about The Tick, Episode 3, Season 1.
The Patrick Warburton Tick. I freaked out. Ron Perlman is in this episode. I was like, damn. And because I'm slow with certain things, most topics that aren't my area of expertise, I was like, oh, they're doing like a cameo thing. Which I think they'll keep going, I guess, right? 'Cause we had Christopher Lloyd in episode 1. Mm-hmm. We had the guy who was the immortal, who no one knows his name, but he's great.
Sure.
And then we had Ron Perlman here. And they're literally on set, I think, for 4 hours. And they just knock out whatever part they have, and then they just do their business or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is great. That's a great way to do it. We have a bunch of funny people together. They're probably friends. They probably got on the blower like, hey, do you want to appear as a dumb superhero on this superhero show?
I would certainly imagine. Did you notice the TikTok Diner featured? So the TikTok Diner is in Clifton, New Jersey. I used to work like right near there.
Yeah.
I've been there many times, and that is not the interior of that diner.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, like, that diner's famous for being in a bunch of things.
Mm-hmm.
I must have been looking away, typing a note or something when they showed the establishing shot. Mm-hmm. But it is the establishing shot for so many diners.
Yeah.
Yes, on like so many things. Yeah.
Yeah, TikTok, classic.
It's in like the middle of the highway. It's really weird.
In real life?
Yeah, right?
It's on 22.
Oh.
I don't know, eastbound 22, I think.
Okay, I'm thinking of something else.
I'm not 22, Route 3 rather.
Oh
Route
God,
3.
I'm like it's not on 22 at all. You're fucking high as fuck.
No, Route 3. I'm speaking out of my ass.
Yeah, I believe I was at like a red light a bunch, commuting down to Jersey City from northern New Jersey, and I would see it on the thing. And there's like the lanes, like diverge a bit, and there's shit in like the middle, which is unusual for that part of Jersey.
That's not that diner.
No?
No.
Okay, good.
It is just on one side, and it's a highway. There's no stoplights.
Oh, I don't know. Well, Route 3 eventually gets down to the point where there's a bunch of lights.
At least not where that diner is. But I digress back to the Tick. So this episode's interesting. We get to explore the relationship of a superhero and a sidekick,
in very
and how that
interesting
works out, and the loneliness of people that do not have sidekicks.
Yes. I liked it. I like Batmanuel's line about well, alone is a tragic circumstance, but alone is an aesthetic choice.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, this is wonderful.
Like toll booth operators.
Yes, this felt like just like in my head I'm like, if this is the worst the episodes are, this is great.
Yeah.
Because this episode felt very standard, like we start with an idea and we explore it and all that stuff. I would describe a lot of it as serviceable, right? It was predictable and you saw where they were going pretty quickly and all that stuff. But they did their stuff. I chuckled. It was good.
No, yeah, and it definitely it lends itself to having these cameos and characters, and Ron Perlman's character, how he talks, and it relates directly to how the Tick talks. And I think their back and forth was great. It's I liked it, whatever the fuck he said, and I can't even picture the actual phrasings, but they played back and forth off each other so well.
They just click in there, and I think that that they directed Ron to kind of do that whole, because he kind of delivers stuff, and it's cool. It's very on the nose. I'm sure it's obvious for any viewer.
It's perfect satire of the superhero world, yeah.
And that was the whole that's another point of what the Tick is. I don't know if they ever did this exact plot in the animated, but that's the idea is superheroes are real, and being a superhero is just as shitty as being everything else. And that's this weird, which other stuff has done obviously, but the Tick was this neat little
I like the Tick because there's so many people that are actually superheroes, and some people that are just guys in costumes, and they all just blend together.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, so who's that? Is that a schmuck or is that a blah blah? Ron Perlman's character has fire powers,
right?
And then random idiot number 6 is just I'm a guy.
And when they do the thing, he kicks for the Tick or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, he kicks for them. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, I hate it. Oh, it's great. Oh, it's so dumb. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh God, right? And they get together and have little stuff where they complain about their heroes and all that business. That's wonderful. That's super cute.
It's a support group, really.
It's a little group group therapy session or something like that.
I thought it was funny. So in an episode that is exploring relationships, and Ron Perlman's relationship with what is his name? Fire,
Friendly Fire,
and
so
what
good.
is he? The Blaze or something?
The Fiery Blaze.
Fiery Blaze. So there too. So on top of there being some homoerotic undertones between their banter, they have fire symbols on their crotches.
Okay.
So like, not only is that like, are they flaming? They're this and that. It's like he's a fire crotch, like all that cool, fun stuff.
He's a flaming fire crotch, and like literally, like it's like pounding techno on the floor. Everybody get in the pool, like super gay techno, super loud.
As
he's
he fixes his hair for hours.
He's like Dennis from Always Sunny. Yeah. He's like doing the whole thing. No, I just care about how I look, bro. Like he's just doing that whole thing. Like it's wonderful. It's fine. It was a different time. These things were totally undetectable and just funny or whatever.
That was wonderful.
But no, I like it. I like like you're saying how like something means something else later. No, and the toothpaste is your department because Tick's trying to like manage through like all the stuff or whatever. That sounds like a sidekick thing. I have to keep my head clear for evil or whatever.
I didn't like seeing Arthur fully out of his suit. Like before he showered, I'm like, it looks strange when I can see your
weird.
Whole head.
I don't want to see your ears ever.
Yeah,
isn't that the gimmick? Yeah, he should have been shaving wearing the mask and just like.
Well, like the Tick did with his big fake beard.
That was so
like
La Mancha and all that stuff. He's like, Tick, stop it! Oh my god, never a problem for me. That's because by the time you get the toothpaste, I've already fixed it and put the cap back on.
Perfect. We're like peanut butter and jelly or whatever.
We're playing off each other perfectly. Sounds like a working system. No, it's great. Because the analogy makes sense, right? Because you have one like dominant personality and one like whatever thing, right? And this is how a lot of stuff works. This is
it's the old master blaster system where you have the one smart and weak person and then the strong and dumb person,
exactly.
And they go together perfectly.
Yeah.
In this degree, he is not as smart as Master, but this man is more powerful than Blaster, so it all evens out.
Well, I think of it like the Mighty Boosh or some of those other things too. And you and I have a similar dynamic where you have to have like one person who's like, what could go wrong? Let's just do that, and someone else is like, a lot could go wrong. Don't do that. Oh my God, stop or whatever. And that's we see that in like a ton of media and like things like that, and I love it. This was funny overall. The other plot line is like buying a dog and blowing up.
I think that more stores should be like that store is.
Where he's like, okay, so like,
even
like,
doctors who deliver children should be like this.
So I'm like watching the episode, like, yeah, I get it. I see where this is going, and I'm chuckling or whatever. And then out of nowhere, this whole thing where he's like, you need to like rent a movie or get a pint of ice cream or something and chill out. I'm not gonna let you ruin this dog's life or whatever. That was this awesome.
Yeah.
He like ruthlessly calls her out because she's like, hey, I want a dog, whatever, and all that stuff, and constantly like saying the wrong things about the dog. He's like, it's a she. It's like, what? He poops. He does this, whatever. Like the whole thing. Anyway.
The dog she ended up with, I like that. What is that? A bulldog? What are those called?
Oh, I wrote pug, but that's a bulldog. Yeah, definitely.
I like those. And that one looked like a particularly like large and fun one.
Yeah, that was a very large bulldog actually. Yeah.
I just like Batman while he's like, oh, he says it's better with children. Here, it's yours. No, this was your lie. You made me stick with it.
Exactly. You made me do this. This is your thing. And then he says ciao when he leaves. Because the dog we wanted was a chow, and he's Batmanuel.
Batmanuel.
When she calls him and is like, no, let's talk. Come on, I'm already doing this. And he's like, what are you wearing? What color are your Liberty panties? Or whatever. She's like, why do you always hide behind sex? And he's like, it's hard. It's so big. Whatever. Like this wonderful thing, because he's on that like Tyler Durden side of the whole thing, and then she's on the like still in the normal world side of the whole thing, right? So he's like super okay with his lifestyle choice.
Well, because it works for him.
Yes, yeah, and
for her, not so much.
And she obviously is not. And in that first diner scene, okay, so like he makes a like they have this on again, off again romance, right? Is that clearly established? Right. So that's got implications for the whole thing with that or whatever. So I like that. Like, it's not only, oh, hey, superheroes and sidekicks are, like, in a relationship. There you go. We get a side thing of, like, here's another dysfunctional relationship, right? It's nice. And that leads to them getting blown up by a dog with a hand grenade.
Well, and also, you kind of, like, when they're in the diner, as they are pointing out how the Tick and Arthur are so good for each other and they finish their sentences, they're in the middle of finishing each other's sentences, and they don't realize that they are actually a nice couple together. But, between her being disgusted with him at times and him being like a sex maniac, they're on the...
it means a lot to him. It means a lot to him to be alone, so he's not willing to acknowledge the fact that they're functionally. He has his like arm around her, and they're like close and stuff. Yeah. No, I like that. That's a lot smarter and like more interesting than this had any right to be. It could have just been 20 minutes of like gay jokes and sidekick jokes, or something. But it turned out to be this nice thing, and it's heartwarming. At the end, Arthur's like, "No, Tick and I are a duo. This is no man, hey man, or whatever." And then Fiery Blaze and Friendly Fire get back together too.
Indeed.
And it's like, "Oh, you big galoot!" I fell down. He like accidentally did his stuff. Oh, what does he say? I smell sweaty, drunky uncle or something like that. And then they call out on the nose like, "Oh, he doesn't seem as cool anymore," something like that, because he's a mess without his without his North Star, without his guiding light. It's wonderful.
His yin to his yang. No, standard episode of The Tick. Like you said, I think if every episode were as good as this, I could watch it forever.
Because it did not knock my socks off humor wise or like whatever wise.
But it's also not offensive. It's like a warm bath where you're like, that's not too hot.
Exactly.
It's not too cold either.
I was like,
it's just right.
This is good. It's like a solid muffin.
Sure. All right, guys. So that is this episode of The Tick. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching Just Daggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.